Have you ever noticed that getting up from a chair feels just a little harder than it used to? Or maybe you find yourself hesitating at the bottom of the stairs, not because you're afraid, but because your legs don't feel as steady as they once did. You're not imagining things. In fact, one of the most overlooked but earliest signs of aging is the gradual weakening of your legs. I once had a patient, 72 years old, who told me, "Doc, I didn't even realize how much I was compensating until I fell." And that's how it often happens, not with a dramatic collapse, but with quiet, subtle changes we dismiss until they demand our attention. The truth is, your legs don't give out all at once. They fade, slowly. And by the time most people realize it, they've already given up walks they used to enjoy or stopped attending social events because the distance from the parking lot to the front door feels too far. As someone who has spent over a decade working with seniors, I've seen this more times than I can count. I've watched proud, independent people lose confidence, not because of serious disease, but because their legs no longer supported the life they wanted to live. But here's the good news. You don't have to accept that decline. In fact, you can stop it, even reverse it. And no, it doesn't require expensive gym memberships, miracle supplements, or endless therapy sessions. It starts with something you already do every day: eating. That's right, your food choices are more powerful than you've ever been told. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 of the most effective, science-backed foods that can help you strengthen your legs, improve your balance, increase energy, and maintain your independence as you age. These are not trendy superfoods or complicated health fads. They're simple, delicious ingredients that many people already have in their kitchens. I'll break down what makes each one special, how they support muscle health and circulation, and how to use them in your meals without changing your whole lifestyle. Let me share a story. Irene was 76 and one of the most energetic women I've ever met. But when she came to me, she was frustrated. She'd started avoiding her garden club meetings, not because she didn't love them, but because the walk from the car to the building left her breathless and sore. She thought she was just getting older. But when we took a closer look, the issue wasn't her age, it was her diet. She wasn't getting enough of the key nutrients her muscles and joints needed to function. We added 5 specific foods into her weekly routine, and within a few weeks, she was back to gardening, walking daily, and smiling again. It wasn't magic, it was biology. And it worked because food fuels your muscles, your recovery, and your circulation. The right nutrients can reduce inflammation, prevent cramps, rebuild lost strength, and give you the steady foundation you need to live freely. So if you've ever felt unsteady, if your legs have been feeling off, or if you simply want to make sure you stay strong for years to come, this video is for you. And just before we dive in, I want to ask you for a quick favor. If you've ever felt frustrated by weakness, fatigue, or balance issues, go ahead and like this video right now. It tells YouTube this is content worth sharing. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another chance to support your health. And if this topic resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, feel free to comment 0. I read every single one, and they help me shape better videos for you. All right, let's talk about your legs, not just as limbs, but as your foundation. When they're strong, you feel secure. When they're weak, even everyday tasks feel uncertain. And that shift, when it happens quietly, can steal your confidence. But you can take it back. Your muscles are still responsive. Your circulation can still improve. And your energy can be restored. And that journey starts with something incredibly simple: what's on your plate. So let's begin right now with food 1. This one might surprise you, and chances are, it's already in your fridge. Food 1. Lean proteins, the muscle keeper. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I feel the same on the inside, but why does my body feel weaker every year? It's not just in your head. One of the most underestimated yet impactful signs of aging is something called sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass that begins quietly in your 40s and becomes more apparent with each passing decade. But here's the truth that most people don't know. Muscle loss isn't inevitable. In fact, with the right food choices, particularly the right kind of protein, you can slow it down, reverse it, and even rebuild strength in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I remember meeting Roger, a retired postal worker who came to see me just after turning 69. He said, I used to lift heavy packages like nothing. Now I get winded putting on my socks. He hadn't been ill. He hadn't stopped moving. He had just unknowingly fallen into one of the most common traps of aging, undereating protein. What many people don't realize is that as we grow older, our body becomes less efficient at turning dietary protein into muscle tissue. That means we actually need more protein, not less. just to maintain the same strength we had years ago. Lean proteins, like chicken, turkey, eggs, tofu, and certain cuts of pork, are some of the most powerful tools we have for preserving muscle mass. These foods are rich in essential amino acids, which are the building blocks your body needs to repair and rebuild muscle tissue after everyday use. Without enough of these, muscles begin to shrink, joints lose support, and movements like standing, lifting, or climbing stairs become more difficult, not because you're getting lazy, but because your body simply doesn't have the raw materials it needs. Even small daily shortfalls in protein, repeated over weeks and months, can lead to significant weakness over time. Animal-based lean proteins, such as skinless chicken breast, lean turkey, fish, and eggs, are considered complete proteins, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce on its own. But if you follow a plant-based diet, don't worry, you can still get high-quality protein from foods like lentils, beans, tofu, quinoa, and tempeh. These options are not only protein-rich but also compact with fiber, which supports digestion and cardiovascular health, both of which play a crucial role in maintaining strength and mobility in your legs. In my practice, I often recommend a blend of animal and plant proteins to help older adults cover their nutritional bases, enjoy variety, and reduce inflammation. According to international guidelines, adults over 60 should aim for around 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, about 50% more than what younger adults typically need. Why? Because aging muscle needs more nutritional support just to stay the same, let alone improve. And research confirms this. A well-known study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consume more protein, particularly from lean sources, showed remarkable improvements in strength, balance, and mobility, along with a significantly lower risk of falls. For me, protein isn't just about building muscle, it's about restoring confidence. When your legs are strong, you stand taller, walk more steadily, and move with a sense of freedom that no supplement can offer. And putting this into practice doesn't have to be difficult. Add a couple of eggs to your breakfast, mix shredded chicken into a salad for lunch, enjoy grilled salmon with steamed vegetables for dinner, or toss some lentils into a hearty soup. You can even snack on Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, or try hummus with veggie sticks. The key is to spread your intake throughout the day, since your body absorbs protein more efficiently in smaller amounts. For those with dental issues or trouble chewing, soft options like scrambled eggs, baked fish, or stewed beans can be a perfect solution. And always remember to pair your protein with healthy fats and fiber-rich vegetables for better absorption and gut health. What I've learned after a decade of working with seniors is that eating well isn't just about preventing disease. It's about choosing to stay strong, steady, and independent. And protein is one of the smartest investments you can make for your future. So, now that you know the power of lean proteins in protecting your leg strength, let's move on to a second food that may surprise you. It's green, leafy, and often underestimated, yet it carries the kind of mineral punch your muscles and bones are silently begging for. Let's talk about leafy green vegetables and why they might just be your strongest ally in staying mobile for life. Food 2. Leafy green vegetables, the unsung guardians of muscle and bone. When you think about building strength, you probably imagine lifting weights or adding more protein to your plate. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful tools for keeping your legs strong and your body stable are leafy green and grow straight from the ground? That's right. Leafy green vegetables might just be the most underrated secret weapon in senior health. And if you've ever woken up with a painful leg cramp, felt your balance waver while walking, or struggled with lingering fatigue that seems to settle deep in your muscles, this next part could explain why. In my work with older adults over the past decade, I've come to appreciate the incredible role of minerals, especially those found in greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula. These aren't just salad fillers or healthy side dishes. They're mineral-dense powerhouses that directly support muscle function, bone strength, nerve communication, and circulation. I remember one patient, Edna, age 73, who came to me complaining about frequent leg cramps that kept her awake at night. Nothing helped. She drank water. She stretched. But it wasn't until we looked at her diet that the missing link became obvious: magnesium. We increased her intake of dark leafy greens, sautéed kale at dinner, spinach in her omelets, Swiss chard in her soups, and within 2 weeks, the cramps had almost disappeared. Her body wasn't failing. It was simply lacking the raw ingredients it needed to thrive. Leafy greens are rich in magnesium, which is essential for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough of it, muscles cramp, fatigue quickly, and recover poorly. As we age, our ability to absorb magnesium naturally declines, so even if you eat the same amount as you did in your 40s, your body may be extracting far less from it now. These greens are also packed with vitamin K, a nutrient critical for calcium regulation. Vitamin K ensures that calcium goes where it belongs, into your bones, and not into your arteries. This not only helps prevent osteoporosis but also supports vascular health, which is essential for keeping your legs nourished and your movement smooth. Add to that folate, calcium, potassium, and antioxidants, and you begin to see that leafy greens aren't just supporting muscle, they're helping your entire body operate more efficiently. And unlike supplements, which deliver isolated nutrients in concentrated forms, leafy greens offer these minerals in a synergistic package. Your body recognizes and uses food-based nutrients more effectively, and the fiber in these greens helps your digestion, heart health, and even blood sugar stability. Research backs this up. Studies published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition show that seniors who consume more leafy greens experience improved mobility, better balance, and reduced risk of falls, even when controlling for exercise levels and protein intake. In other words, what you eat matters just as much as how you move. So how can you add more of these leafy greens into your day without overhauling your diet? It's simpler than you think. Toss a handful of spinach into your morning smoothie. It blends right in, and you'll barely taste it. Stir some chopped kale into a hearty vegetable soup. Add Swiss chard to a stir-fry or pasta dish. Or enjoy arugula's peppery bite in your lunchtime sandwich. If chewing raw greens is difficult, steaming or sautéing them with a bit of olive oil makes them tender and easier to digest, without losing their nutritional value. These little habits, done consistently, will feed your muscles, nourish your bones, and give you the support you need to move through life with more confidence and less pain. Because here's what I've seen again and again in my patients: the ones who thrive in their later years aren't always the ones who exercise the most. They're the ones who eat with intention, who nourish their bodies with the nutrients they need, not just the calories they crave. And leafy greens are one of the most powerful, affordable, and accessible ways to do that. So the next time you see that bundle of kale or bag of spinach in the store, don't pass it by. Pick it up knowing that you're investing in stronger muscles, steadier steps, and a future with more freedom. Now that we've explored the quiet but powerful role of leafy greens in your leg health, let's move to something a little sweeter, literally. This next food is colorful, comforting, and loaded with potassium and slow-burning energy that keeps your muscles fueled all day long. Let's take a closer look at sweet potatoes and why they might be the perfect natural remedy for tired legs and midday slumps. Food 3. Sweet potatoes. You might not think much of sweet potatoes. Maybe you've had them mashed during the holidays or roasted alongside your dinner. But what if I told you this humble, orange root vegetable could be the reason your legs feel stronger, your muscles cramp less, and your energy lasts longer throughout the day? I'm serious. Sweet potatoes are more than just comfort food. They're powerful fuel for aging muscles, and they might just be the missing link in your daily routine. In fact, when patients tell me they've been feeling sluggish or waking up at night with leg cramps, one of the first things I ask is, how's your potassium intake? Because more often than not, it's not their age that's causing the fatigue or tight muscles. It's an overlooked nutrient deficiency. That's where sweet potatoes come in, and they're more effective than most people realize. Let me tell you about Ron, a 75-year-old gentleman who came to me after struggling with daily leg cramps. He tried magnesium supplements, drank water all day, and even slept with a pillow under his knees. Nothing helped. But after a quick dietary review, I noticed something. His meals were low in potassium-rich foods, especially complex carbs. We added just one small roasted sweet potato to his lunch each day. Within a week, his nighttime cramps had dropped significantly, and he had more stamina on his morning walks. That's no coincidence. It's biology. Sweet potatoes are loaded with potassium, a mineral critical for fluid balance, nerve signaling, and muscle contraction. When your potassium levels dip, even slightly, your muscles can misfire, tighten, or cramp. And because our kidneys become less efficient at conserving potassium as we age, it's easy to become deficient without realizing it. That's why older adults, especially those who sweat a lot, take diuretics for blood pressure, or have a lower appetite, are more likely to suffer from these exact symptoms. Unlike bananas, which also contain potassium but are high in sugar and spike blood glucose quickly, sweet potatoes offer slow-digesting complex carbohydrates. That means they release energy gradually, giving your muscles a steady stream of fuel without the crash. This is especially important for seniors, whose muscles recover more slowly and rely on a constant supply of glucose to function well during walks, chores, or even long conversations while standing. Plus, sweet potatoes are also rich in beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that supports immune health and reduces oxidative stress in muscle tissue. When your cells are under constant attack from free radicals, a natural part of aging, antioxidants help protect and repair them, which means better endurance and shorter recovery time. They also contain vitamin C, vitamin B6, and a good dose of fiber, which supports digestive health and stable blood sugar, both crucial for sustained energy throughout the day. And let's not forget how incredibly versatile and delicious they are. You can bake them, mash them, cube and roast them, or slice them into wedges and air fry them for a crispy, guilt-free treat. I often tell my patients to keep a batch of roasted sweet potato chunks in the fridge. They're great tossed into salads, added to soups, or enjoyed as a side dish with lean protein. Now, some people worry about carbs, especially if they're managing diabetes or trying to lose weight. But here's the important distinction. Sweet potatoes are complex carbohydrates, meaning they digest slowly and support blood sugar stability, unlike processed carbs like white bread or pastries. In fact, when paired with protein and healthy fat, sweet potatoes can help regulate your appetite, reduce cravings, and support steady insulin response. In clinical research, potassium-rich diets have been shown to reduce the frequency and severity of muscle cramps, and studies from the Journal of Physiology indicate that potassium directly impacts the electrical signaling of muscle fibers. Without enough of it, muscles lose their ability to contract and relax properly, leading to stiffness, weakness, and yes, those awful midnight cramps that leave you gasping in the dark. What I've learned after a decade of working with older adults is that small, thoughtful food choices often make the biggest impact. A single food isn't a miracle, but when added consistently and intentionally, sweet potatoes can absolutely contribute to stronger, more responsive legs, better energy, and improved quality of life. So if you've been dealing with heavy legs, low stamina, or unpredictable cramps, this is a simple, natural place to start. Add half a cup to your daily meals and give it a week. Pay attention to how your body responds. You might be surprised at how something so simple can help so much. And here's one more thing I love about sweet potatoes. They're easy on the stomach and gentle enough for people with sensitive digestion, making them ideal for older adults who might struggle with richer, heavier meals. Their natural sweetness also makes them a comforting food, one that feels like a treat while delivering real nourishment to your muscles. So the next time you're at the grocery store, reach for a few sweet potatoes and think of them not just as a vegetable, but as leg fuel. Because sometimes, strength doesn't come from doing more, it comes from feeding your body what it truly needs. Now that we've explored how sweet potatoes can boost muscle energy and reduce cramping, let's turn our attention to a vibrant root that does something remarkable for your circulation. This next food isn't just beautiful on the plate, it helps oxygen flow more efficiently through your body, keeping your legs energized and reducing that heavy, sluggish feeling. Let's take a closer look at beets, and why they could be your secret weapon for stronger, better nourished muscles. Food for beets. Let's go from sweet to stunning, because the next food on our list doesn't just fuel your muscles, it brings life back to them in a way that's both beautiful and deeply powerful. Have you ever sliced open a beet and marveled at that deep, ruby red color? It's not just for show. That vibrant hue signals the presence of natural compounds that do something truly remarkable inside your body. They help your blood vessels open up and your circulation flow freely. That means more oxygen gets delivered to your muscles, especially your legs, where it's desperately needed to reduce fatigue, stiffness, and that heavy, dragging sensation that so many older adults describe. In my years of working with seniors, I've noticed a recurring pattern. It's not always weak muscles that make walking difficult, it's poor circulation. And beets are one of the most effective, natural ways to turn that around. Let me introduce you to Charlie. He's 78 and used to be a long-distance cyclist in his younger years. But recently, he came to me complaining that his legs felt like lead, especially in the afternoon. His walking distance had shortened, and he felt winded doing even light chores. We ruled out heart issues, blood sugar, and hydration. What we found was this: his blood flow simply wasn't reaching his leg muscles the way it used to. That's when I suggested something simple, just a small glass of beet juice in the morning. Within 10 days, Charlie called me and said, "Doc, I don't know what magic is in those beets, but I'm moving easier again." It wasn't magic, it was nitrate science. Beets are incredibly rich in naturally occurring nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax and widen blood vessels. This process, called vasodilation, improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and allows more oxygen-rich blood to flow to your working muscles. The result? More stamina, quicker recovery, and muscles that feel like they're working with you, not against you. This is especially important for seniors because, as we age, our arteries can become stiff, our blood vessels less responsive, and our tissues more prone to inflammation. That combination can leave our legs feeling tired, unresponsive, or sore even after basic activity. By improving circulation at the cellular level, beets help counteract one of the most common, yet silent, culprits of mobility loss in older adults. But the benefits don't stop there. Beets are also packed with antioxidants, particularly a compound called betalan, which gives beets their vivid color and helps fight oxidative stress. You see, oxidative stress is like rust building up inside your cells, damaging them from the inside out. It contributes to inflammation, slows down muscle recovery, and accelerates the natural wear and tear of aging. Beets help scrub that rust away, keeping your muscles healthier, longer. In fact, a 2020 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed beet juice regularly showed improved muscle oxygenation and functional performance, particularly during walking and stair climbing. The study concluded that beets could play a meaningful role in preserving physical function and delaying disability in older populations. And here's something I personally love about recommending beets. They're incredibly versatile and easy to add to your life. You can roast them, blend them into smoothies, shred them raw into salads, or simply drink beet juice once a day. Even powdered beetroot supplements can be effective if they're made from whole, natural sources. For my more culinary-inclined patients, I recommend pairing roasted beets with goat cheese and walnuts on a bed of arugula. For the more practical folks, just keep a few cooked beets in the fridge, slice, and go. I've even seen patients make beet-based energy bites by mixing cooked beets with oats, dates, and a little cocoa powder. Delicious and energizing. Now, a quick heads up, because beets are naturally high in oxalates, those with a history of kidney stones should talk to their doctor first before consuming them daily. Otherwise, they're safe, affordable, and provide a long list of benefits with very few drawbacks. What I find most inspiring is how something so simple, something that grows in the ground, can have such a profound impact on our ability to move, live, and feel like ourselves again. You don't need a pharmaceutical cocktail to improve your leg strength or circulation. Sometimes, all you need is what nature's already provided. So, if you've been feeling like your legs aren't keeping up like they used to, or you just want to be proactive in protecting your mobility, beets are an easy, natural place to begin. Try incorporating them for 2 weeks and watch how your energy and ease of movement shift. And now, as we build on the circulatory benefits of beets, let's look at one final food that works quietly in the background, but has been celebrated for centuries in Mediterranean cultures for its powerful ability to reduce pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Let's talk about olive oil, your body's natural anti-inflammatory ally. Food 5. Olive oil. Let's wrap up this list with something deceptively simple, yet deeply powerful, something that's probably already sitting in your kitchen cabinet, waiting to support your muscles, soothe your joints, and protect your mobility in ways you may have never imagined. You see, after years of helping older adults regain their strength, reduce pain, and reclaim their independence, I've learned that what we cook with is just as important as what we cook. And when it comes to reducing inflammation, improving flexibility, and protecting your muscles and joints as you age, few ingredients work as quietly or as effectively as extra virgin olive oil. Often called liquid gold for both its culinary richness and its medicinal benefits, olive oil has been a staple in Mediterranean diets for centuries. And modern science is finally catching up to why it deserves a permanent place in your daily routine. Let me tell you about Helen, one of my favorite patients. She was 80 years old, lively, and incredibly witty, but had been struggling with knee stiffness that made her morning walks feel more like a chore than a joy. She told me, "I stretch, I stay active, but my knees feel like rusty hinges." As we explored her habits, one small shift we made was to replace processed vegetable oil with cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. A month later, Helen walked into my office and said, "I feel younger, like I'm moving with oil in my joints instead of sand." That's no exaggeration. Olive oil contains a natural compound called oleocanthal, which has been shown to act similarly to ibuprofen, reducing inflammation and easing joint discomfort, without the harsh side effects. Inflammation is one of the sneakiest causes of muscle weakness and joint stiffness as we age. Unlike a cut or a bruise, you don't always feel it directly, but it works quietly in the background, wearing down your connective tissues, stiffening your joints, and creating that generalized soreness that seems to show up for no clear reason. The anti-inflammatory properties of olive oil help calm that fire, giving your body a chance to heal and function with more comfort and ease. But that's not all. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, which help lower bad cholesterol and support heart health, critical for maintaining healthy circulation to your legs and muscles. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to your tissues, which improves muscle recovery and reduces that heavy, tired feeling in your legs after simple activities like walking, standing, or climbing stairs. And unlike processed seed oils that can actually contribute to inflammation, olive oil actively works in your favor. It's also loaded with polyphenol and antioxidants that protect against oxidative stress, the kind of cellular wear and tear that accelerates aging, damages muscle cells, and contributes to chronic fatigue. In fact, a study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed olive oil regularly experienced significantly less muscle pain and stiffness, along with better physical performance over time. These aren't just small, marginal benefits, they're meaningful shifts in daily comfort and quality of life. And the best part? Olive oil is incredibly easy to incorporate. Drizzle it over steamed vegetables, blend it into salad dressings, sauté your lean proteins with it, or use it to roast sweet potatoes and beets like the ones we talked about earlier. One of my favorite inflammation-fighting combinations for seniors is a warm dish of sautéed spinach and olive oil with garlic and a sprinkle of turmeric. Delicious, comforting, and incredibly supportive to your muscles and joints. For those who worry about weight or calories, let me be clear, olive oil, when used moderately and mindfully, supports metabolic health, satiety, and longevity. It's not about cutting fats entirely, it's about choosing the right fats. The type that helps you move without pain, rise from a chair with ease, and walk confidently into your day. I've had patients tell me they were shocked that something so small, replacing one oil with another, could make such a difference. But when you've spent years unknowingly feeding inflammation, that one change can feel like a breath of fresh air. And here's something powerful to remember. Small, consistent choices lead to big changes. Olive oil isn't a quick fix. It's a daily investment, a habit that gently supports your muscles, bones, and circulation every single time you use it. So if you're cooking tonight or dressing a salad tomorrow, reach for the olive oil. Don't just use it, appreciate it. Let it be a reminder that health isn't always about doing more. Sometimes, it's about doing something simple, consistently, and with care. As we close out this list of 5 powerful, natural foods that can help you rebuild leg strength, improve circulation, reduce cramps, and age with confidence, I want to leave you with this. Your legs are not just for walking. They're your foundation for freedom. And every food you eat is a message to your body, either a message of healing or a message of decline. Today, you've learned how to speak the language of strength, naturally and deliciously. So take these foods, use them daily, and know that with every step, you're not just moving, you're thriving. So now you've seen it, the truth that's been quietly waiting in your kitchen, hiding in plain sight on your plate. These 5 simple foods, lean proteins, leafy greens, sweet potatoes, beets, and olive oil, aren't just part of a healthy diet. They're part of your story. They're tools, chosen not by hype or headlines, but by evidence, tradition, and real-world results. Each one, in its own way, is a message to your body. I want you to stay strong. I want you to heal. I want you to keep moving, not just today, but for many years to come. Because let's be honest, we all want more from life than just existing. We want to bend down without bracing for pain. We want to climb the stairs without holding our breath. We want to walk into a room with confidence, not fear of falling. And we want to do these things not just for ourselves, but for the people who depend on us, the grandchildren who reach out for our hand, the spouse who still wants to dance, the friends waiting for us at the park, the neighbors we wave to on our daily walks. I've spent over a decade working with older adults, and if there's one thing I know to be true, it's this. Aging is not the enemy, disconnection is. The moment we believe our best days are behind us, we begin to give up on the little things that hold our lives together. But food, real, nourishing, healing food, can help you reconnect. It brings you back into your body, gives you control again, and whispers, you've still got it. Because you do. You've got more strength, more potential, more power than you've been told. You don't need to chase fad diets or extreme programs. You just need to feed your body what it's been asking for all along. These 5 foods may seem simple, But when used consistently, they have the power to transform your everyday life, from how you get out of bed, to how far you walk, to how deeply you sleep at night. And here's something I truly want you to remember. Your legs are not the first thing to weaken with age. They're just the first to tell the truth. When your legs feel tired, heavy, or unsteady, they're not failing you. They're speaking to you, asking for help. And now, you have the answer. The next step? It's yours to take. And I'd love to be part of that journey with you. So if this video helped you in any way, if something you heard made you pause, reflect, or feel a bit more hopeful, please take a moment to click the like button. It helps others find this video and tells me that what we're building here matters. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. There's so much more I want to share with you, more foods, more tips, more stories that I've collected over the years from people just like you who refuse to give up on their strength, their movement, or their joy. And finally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, which of these 5 foods are you most excited to try? Have you already been using one of them? What have you noticed in your body since? Your story could inspire someone else reading those comments to take their first step too. Because in this community, we rise together. I created this space not just to give advice, but to listen, to learn, and to walk beside you, not ahead of you. Because every small action you take, every forkful of spinach, every drizzle of olive oil, every roasted sweet potato on your plate, is a vote for your future. A future where your legs still carry you to the people and places you love. A future where age is just a number and movement is still your own. So thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for choosing to learn, to care, and to believe that your body is still worth investing in. Because it is. And so are you. Until next time, stay well, stay strong, and remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward freedom.